The entertainment world is buzzing again with one burning question that has everyone talking. Has Kylie Jenner finally opened up, and is her relationship with Timothée Chalamet getting seriously real? Before we dive deeper, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments, because by the end of this video, there's one surprising detail that could completely change how you see their relationship. It all started with a series of public appearances that no longer feel like coincidence. What once seemed like a low-key, almost secretive connection is now slowly stepping into the spotlight. Kylie Jenner, known for keeping her private life tightly controlled, has started to reveal just enough to spark massive curiosity. And that small shift has been enough to send fans and insiders into overdrive. Over the past few months, the two have been spotted together more frequently and more comfortably. Not just attending events, but showing a different kind of energy. Relaxed, natural, effortless. Body language experts and celebrity watchers are calling this a clear sign of a relationship that has moved beyond the early stages and into something deeper. But what makes this story even more compelling is the contrast between their worlds. On one side, Kylie Jenner, a global beauty mogul, business powerhouse, and cultural icon. On the other, Timothée Chalamet, an acclaimed actor known for his artistic depth and selective approach to fame. Two completely different lanes in the entertainment industry, now somehow perfectly aligned. And this is where the tension builds. Because behind every public moment, there's one question no one can fully answer: are they just enjoying the moment, or are they building something long-term? Sources close to the situation suggest that Kylie is approaching this relationship very differently. She's calmer, more grounded, and far less interested in public drama. Instead of putting everything on display, she seems to be protecting something that actually matters to her. At the same time, Timothée Chalamet appears to be shifting as well. Known for keeping his personal life under wraps, he now seems more at ease being seen with Kylie. He's no longer avoiding cameras entirely. In fact, in several moments, he looks completely comfortable sharing that space with her. But here's where things take an interesting turn. Right in the middle of all this, a new detail has started to surface, one that might change everything. There are growing reports that the two have begun spending time with each other's inner circles, including family. And in Hollywood, that's not just casual. That's a major step. It usually signals that a relationship has moved beyond surface level and into something with real direction. If that's true, then this isn't just another celebrity fling. This could be the evolution of a relationship that no one saw coming, now turning into something much more serious. But as with every high-profile romance, there's always another side to consider. Some fans remain skeptical. The pressures of fame, demanding schedules, and completely different lifestyles have ended many celebrity relationships before. And history has shown that even the strongest connections can struggle under that spotlight. And yet, that's exactly what makes this so fascinating. Because every time doubt starts to rise, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet seem to respond without saying a word. No big statements. No dramatic reveals. Just consistent, subtle moments that speak louder than anything else. A glance. A gesture. Showing up for each other when it matters. And now, we reach the moment everyone is waiting for. Is this the beginning of something bigger? Some entertainment insiders believe that if things continue at this pace, this relationship could evolve into something even more serious, possibly a long-term commitment that neither of them has openly addressed yet. But for now, there's no official confirmation. And maybe that's exactly why this story continues to captivate millions. Because in a world where everything is instantly revealed, the relationship between Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet still holds onto a sense of mystery. A mystery that keeps people watching, guessing, and coming back for more. And the truth is, the real answer might be closer than we think. So now it's your turn. Do you think this relationship is truly serious, Or just another unexpected chapter in the ever-changing world of Hollywood romance? Drop your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on celebrity news, drama, and everything in between. And just when it seemed like the story had already revealed its biggest moments, something else began to shift, and this is where everything gets even more intriguing. Because behind the polished appearances and carefully captured public moments, insiders are starting to notice a pattern that's hard to ignore. Kylie Jenner is no stranger to high-profile relationships. The world has watched her navigate love under intense scrutiny before. But this time feels different. Not louder, just deeper. More intentional. More controlled. And that subtle difference? It's exactly what has people paying closer attention than ever. There's a growing belief among industry observers that Kylie is no longer interested in relationships that exist purely in the spotlight. Instead, she's leaning towards something more grounded, something that can survive beyond headlines and trending topics. And if that's true, then her connection with Timothée Chalamet might be her most serious move yet. But let's pause for a second, because this is where things take an unexpected turn. Unlike most celebrity couples who gradually increase their visibility together, Kylie and Timothee seem to be doing the opposite. They appear just enough to keep the public intrigued, and then disappear again. It's almost strategic. Almost like they're controlling the narrative without ever directly addressing it. That kind of approach creates something powerful: mystery. And in today's fast-paced media environment, mystery is rare. It keeps audiences hooked. It keeps speculation alive. And most importantly, it keeps their story relevant without oversharing. But here's the real question: why now? Why is Kylie Jenner, someone who built an empire partly through visibility, choosing a more private path at this stage in her life? Some believe the answer lies in maturity. Over the years, Kylie has evolved, not just as a businesswoman, but as a person. She's experienced the highs and lows of public relationships. She understands the pressure, the noise, and the expectations that come with it. And now, she may be choosing something different. Something more real. And that brings us back to Timothée Chalamet. Because if there's one thing that defines him, it's authenticity. He's never been the type to chase attention for the sake of it. His career choices, his interviews, even his public appearances, all reflect a level of intention that sets him apart in Hollywood. So when two people like that come together, it creates a dynamic that feels balanced. But balance doesn't mean easy. In fact, some sources suggest that their differences could be both their biggest strength and their biggest challenge. Different industries, different lifestyles, different expectations from the public. All of these factors can either strengthen a relationship or slowly pull it apart. And yet, despite all of that, they continue to show up. Not in grand, over-the-top ways, but in quiet, consistent moments that suggest something steady is building beneath the surface. Now here's where the tension rises again. Because recently, fans began to notice something subtle but significant. A shift in timing. Both Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet have been adjusting their schedules in ways that seem to align more frequently. Events, appearances, even travel patterns, there's a growing overlap that doesn't feel accidental. And in Hollywood, timing is everything. When two people with demanding careers start making time for each other consistently, it often signals priority. And priority is a strong indicator of seriousness. But just as quickly as these clues appear, doubt follows right behind. Because not everyone is convinced. Some critics argue that what we're seeing could still be part of a carefully managed image. After all, both Kylie and Timothee operate in industries where perception plays a major role. And sometimes, what looks real on the surface can be more complex behind the scenes. So which is it? A genuine connection growing stronger by the day, or a narrative that's being subtly shaped for the public eye? The truth is, we're only seeing fragments. and those fragments are exactly what keep this story alive. But then, another layer emerges. There are whispers that Kylie has been prioritizing more low-key environments when spending time with Timothee. Less red carpet. More private settings. Less performance. More presence. And that shift might be the biggest clue of all. Because when someone who is used to living in the spotlight starts choosing moments away from it, it usually means those moments matter more. And that brings us to a turning point in this story. If everything we're seeing is leading where it seems to be leading, then this relationship isn't just evolving, it's stabilizing. It's moving past curiosity, past speculation, into something that could actually last. But here's the twist: stability doesn't always make headlines. Drama does. And that's why this story feels so different. There's no major scandal. No explosive reveal. Just a slow, steady build that feels almost unfamiliar in today's celebrity culture. And yet, that's exactly why people can't stop watching. Because deep down, there's something compelling about a relationship that doesn't need chaos to stay interesting. Now we reach the moment where everything comes together. All the appearances. All the subtle clues. All the shifts in behavior. They point toward one possibility, that Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are not just experimenting with a relationship, they're investing in it. Carefully. Quietly. But intentionally. And if that's true, then we might be witnessing the early stages of something that could redefine how celebrity relationships are perceived in the modern era. No oversharing. No constant validation. Just two people navigating something real, on their own terms. But until they decide to say it themselves, the mystery remains. And maybe that's exactly how they want it. So now, after everything you've heard, everything you've seen, and every clue that's been pieced together, what do you think is really happening behind the scenes? Is this the real deal, or just another story that feels bigger than it actually is? Drop your thoughts in the comments, start the conversation, and don't forget to subscribe, because if this story takes another turn, you already know we'll be here to break it down first. And just when it feels like we've reached the clearest picture of what's happening, the story takes another subtle turn that pulls everyone right back into the mystery. Because now, the conversation isn't just about whether Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are serious, it's about how far they're willing to go to protect what they have. In an era where celebrity relationships are often played out in real time across social media, interviews, and public appearances, their approach stands out. There are no overshared posts, no coordinated announcements, no constant updates. Instead, what we get are fragments, carefully observed moments that leave just enough room for interpretation. And strangely, that silence is speaking louder than anything else. Because when two of the most talked about figures in entertainment choose not to fully capitalize on public attention, it raises a powerful question: what are they prioritizing behind the scenes? Some insiders suggest that Kylie is entering a phase of her life where control matters more than exposure. She has built an empire, shaped global beauty trends, and lived under a microscope for years. Now, there's a sense that she's becoming more selective, not just about business moves, but about emotional investments. And that shift could explain everything. Because a more private Kylie Jenner is not something the public is used to. It signals growth. It signals change. And more importantly, it signals intention. But then there's Timothee. If Kylie represents evolution, Timothée Chalamet represents consistency. From the very beginning of his career, he has maintained a certain distance from the noise of celebrity culture. He chooses projects carefully. He avoids unnecessary controversy. And he rarely lets his personal life become the headline. So when someone like him becomes part of a story this big, it means something has shifted. And this is where the narrative becomes even more layered. Because now, it's not just about two individuals, it's about two philosophies of fame coming together. On one side, a figure shaped by visibility. On the other, a figure defined by restraint. And somehow, those two forces are finding a rhythm. But rhythm doesn't mean certainty. In fact, some observers believe that the very thing making this relationship work could also be what makes it fragile. The balance between public and private, between visibility and distance, is not easy to maintain, especially when millions of eyes are constantly watching. And yet, they continue. Quietly building something that refuses to be rushed. Now here's where the tension rises again, because recent patterns suggest something even deeper may be happening. There are indications that both Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are becoming more integrated into each other's day-to-day lives. Not just appearances, not just events, but routines. And in relationships, routines are where things become real. It's one thing to show up together when the cameras are on. It's another to show up consistently when no one is watching. And that distinction is what has fans and analysts paying close attention. Because if this connection has truly moved into that space, then we are no longer watching a developing story, we are watching a solidifying one. But just as quickly as that idea forms, doubt returns. Because history has taught audiences to be cautious. Celebrity relationships can look perfect on the surface while hiding complexities underneath. Schedules, pressure, expectations, they all play a role in shaping outcomes that the public never fully sees. So the question remains, are Kylie and Timothee building something that can withstand all of that? Or are we simply seeing the best version of a story that hasn't yet been tested? And then, something else happens. A subtle but undeniable shift in public perception. At first, the reaction to their relationship was mixed: curiosity, surprise, even skepticism. But over time, that reaction has started to change. More people are beginning to accept the pairing. More fans are starting to see the compatibility. And that shift in perception can be powerful. Because public pressure doesn't just challenge relationships, it can also shape them. And right now, the pressure seems to be easing. Which creates space. Space for something real to grow. But growth always comes with a defining moment. A point where everything either moves forward or starts to fall apart. And that's where we are now. Right on the edge of that moment. Because if the current trajectory continues, it's only a matter of time before something more concrete emerges. Whether that's a public confirmation, a major joint appearance, or a step that signals undeniable commitment, something has to give. And when it does, it will change everything. Until then, all we have are the signs. The quiet consistency. The intentional privacy. The undeniable connection that keeps revealing itself in small, meaningful ways. And maybe, that's enough. Because sometimes, the strongest relationships aren't the ones that are constantly displayed. They're the ones that are carefully protected. And if that's the case here, then Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet might already be further along than anyone realizes. Not in a way that demands attention, but in a way that quietly builds something lasting. And that brings us to the final question, the one that keeps this entire story alive. When the cameras eventually catch the moment that confirms everything, will we be surprised? Or will we look back at all these clues and realize the answer was right in front of us the whole time? Now it's your turn. After everything that's unfolded, every signal, every shift, every detail, what do you truly believe is happening behind the scenes? Is this a carefully protected love story that's growing stronger every day, or a narrative that feels bigger because of the mystery surrounding it? Drop your thoughts below, join the conversation, and stay tuned, because if this story takes the turn everyone is waiting for, you won't want to miss what comes next. And just when it seems like there's nothing left to uncover, another layer quietly begins to reveal itself, one that might be the most telling of all. Because now, attention is shifting towards something far more subtle, yet incredibly powerful: consistency over time. For months, people have been trying to decode every appearance, every interaction between Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. But what's starting to stand out isn't any single moment, it's the pattern those moments create when you look at them together. No sudden disappearances. No dramatic fallout. No conflicting narratives leaking into the public. Instead, what we're seeing is something rare in the world of celebrity relationships: stability. And that changes everything. Because in an industry built on hype and unpredictability, stability doesn't just happen by accident. It's usually the result of deliberate choices, boundaries being set, priorities being aligned, and expectations being managed behind closed doors. So if Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are maintaining this level of consistency, it suggests that whatever they have, it's being handled with care. But here's where things get even more interesting. There's growing speculation that both of them are intentionally slowing things down, not out of uncertainty, but out of intention. In a culture where relationships often move fast and burn out even faster, taking time can be a strategic decision. And if that's what they're doing, it could explain why everything feels so controlled, so measured, so different. Because rushing creates noise. But patience creates depth. And depth is exactly what this story is starting to reflect. Now let's take a closer look at something that most people might overlook: the absence of denial. In many high-profile relationships, especially those surrounded by rumors, there's usually some form of public clarification, statements, interviews, or subtle hints meant to control the narrative. But in this case, that hasn't really happened. Neither Kylie nor Timothee has gone out of their way to shut down the speculation. And that silence? It leaves room for one powerful possibility. They don't feel the need to explain. Which often means, there's nothing they're trying to hide. And that brings us to a deeper layer of this story: trust. Because maintaining a relationship under this level of public attention requires a certain level of trust that goes beyond the ordinary. Trust in each other, yes, but also trust in the process. Trust that not everything needs to be shared to be real. And that kind of trust doesn't form overnight. It builds over time. Through consistency. Through shared experiences. Through moments that never make it to headlines. But even with all these signs pointing in one direction, uncertainty still lingers. Because the reality is, we're still outsiders looking in. We see what's visible. We analyze what's available. But the full story? That belongs to them. And maybe that's why this continues to capture so much attention. Because it feels incomplete. Like we're watching something unfold in real time without knowing exactly where it's going. And that sense of unpredictability keeps the energy alive. But then, something shifts again. A growing number of fans are starting to move away from skepticism and toward support. What once felt like an unexpected pairing is now being seen as something that actually makes sense. The contrast between Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet is no longer viewed as a mismatch, but as a balance. And balance is what makes relationships sustainable. But sustainability doesn't mean permanence. Not yet. Because every relationship, no matter how strong it appears, eventually reaches a defining stage. A moment where things either deepen or drift apart. And the signs suggest that moment may be approaching. Not in a dramatic, headline-grabbing way. But in a quiet, decisive shift that will determine everything moving forward. So what could that look like? It might not be a public announcement. It might not be a red carpet declaration. It could be something far more subtle, yet far more meaningful. A continued presence. A long-term alignment. A decision to keep choosing each other, again and again, without needing the world to validate it. And if that's the direction this is heading, then what we're witnessing isn't just a celebrity relationship. It's a transformation. From curiosity to connection. From speculation to something real. And maybe that's why it feels different. because instead of chasing attention, it seems to be avoiding it. Instead of feeding the narrative, it's quietly rewriting it. And in doing so, it's creating something that stands out in a way that no dramatic headline ever could. But until that defining moment arrives, the questions remain. Is this truly the beginning of something long-term? Or is it simply a chapter that feels bigger because of how carefully it's being told? Only time will answer that. And time is the one thing they seem to be giving themselves. So as this story continues to unfold, one thing is certain: people will keep watching. Not because of what's being said, but because of what isn't. And sometimes, silence tells the most powerful story of all. Now, after everything you've seen and heard, after every subtle clue and every shift in direction, what's your take? Are Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet building something that could truly last? Or are we witnessing a perfectly paced story that hasn't revealed its final twist yet? Drop your thoughts below, keep the conversation going, and stay locked in, because the moment this story finally reveals its truth, it's going to be bigger than anyone expected. And just when it feels like the story has settled into a quiet rhythm, a new wave of speculation begins to rise, one that doesn't rely on what we see, but on what we don't see. Because lately, the biggest clue in the relationship between Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet isn't their presence, it's their absence. Moments where they could have appeared together, but didn't. Events where fans expected them side by side, yet they arrived separately, or not at all. At first glance, it might seem like distance. But to others, it signals something far more strategic. Control. Because choosing when not to be seen can be just as powerful as choosing when to step into the spotlight. And that raises a deeper question: are they protecting their relationship from the outside world, or shaping how the world perceives it? This is where the narrative takes on a more complex edge. In today's entertainment landscape, visibility is currency. Every appearance, every photo, every interaction can be amplified instantly. And yet, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet continue to move against that current. They reveal just enough to stay relevant, but never enough to lose control. It's a delicate balance. And maintaining that balance requires more than coincidence, it requires alignment. Which brings us to something even more intriguing: alignment of values. Because beyond chemistry, beyond attraction, what sustains a relationship, especially under public scrutiny, is shared understanding. A mutual agreement on what matters, what doesn't, and how to navigate everything in between. And from the outside looking in, it appears that both Kylie and Timothée are operating from a similar mindset. Privacy over publicity. Depth over display. Meaning over moment. But here's where the tension quietly returns. Because no matter how aligned two people are, external pressure never truly disappears. Fans want answers. Media wants headlines. The industry thrives on clarity, and mystery disrupts that flow. So eventually, something has to shift. And that shift might already be closer than anyone realizes. There are subtle indicators that the next phase of this relationship could involve a more defined presence, not necessarily louder, but clearer. Not an explosion of visibility, but a gradual acceptance of being seen as a unit. And that transition is where everything changes. Because once a relationship becomes defined in the public eye, it enters a new level of expectation. And expectations can either strengthen a bond or test it in ways that aren't always visible. But let's take a step deeper. What if the real story here isn't about where the relationship is going, but about how it's being built? Slowly. Intentionally. Without the usual distractions that come with fame. That kind of foundation doesn't just create stability, it creates resilience. And resilience is what determines whether something lasts. Now here's where things become even more compelling. Some observers have started to notice a shift not just in how Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet interact with each other, but in how they move individually. There's a sense of calm. a reduction in unnecessary noise, a focus that feels more deliberate than before. And while it's impossible to directly connect those changes to their relationship, the timing is hard to ignore. Because when two people influence each other in positive ways, it often reflects in areas beyond the relationship itself. Growth becomes visible. Energy becomes different. Priorities become clearer. And that's exactly what seems to be happening here. But still, nothing is confirmed. No official statements. No direct acknowledgement. Just a series of moments that, when put together, tell a story that feels increasingly real. And maybe that's the point. Because in a world where everything is often over-explained, there's something powerful about letting a story unfold without constant narration. Letting people wonder. Letting them interpret. Letting them stay curious. And curiosity is what keeps this story alive. But as we move closer to what feels like an inevitable turning point, one final question begins to take shape. Not if something will be revealed, but how. Will it be a quiet confirmation? A subtle shift that removes all doubt without saying a word? Or will it be a moment that catches everyone off guard, something unexpected that suddenly makes everything clear? Whatever the case, one thing is certain. When that moment comes, it won't just add to the story. It will redefine it. Because up until now, everything